was especially drawn to the IB program because I really appreciate the pedagogical principles within the IB that allow for really purposeful guided inquiry for students and the ability for teachers to present information in a differentiated and authentic way.
Part of being in an IB school is that students and teachers are invested in inquiry. I have a science education background. Inquiry is a big part of science, but it's also a super useful tool to create lifelong learners.
The International Baccalaureate program takes more of a holistic approach to teaching, putting the learner at the center and stepping away from the traditional teacher as the expert, student as a passive learner.
It's more student-led interest driving the curriculum, and I think that gives students a lot of autonomy and more motivation in what they're learning.
It's been really neat to see a first grader talk about integrity and where they see integrity, and it's just really interesting seeing these kids who are so young, they're 6 and 7, talking about how the President of the United States shows integrity, and just to be hearing them use that kind of language and seeing that they understand what those words mean.
I chose to be part of this program because before coming to start my master's, I traveled in Europe and I taught in schools abroad, so I've thought about going back abroad, and I know the IB program really opens those doors up. There's a lot of international schools and those sort of opportunities.
What I like most about the IB program is this idea of international mindedness.
And the International Baccalaureate program really emphasizes the importance of a U.S. citizen becoming a global citizen.
We often get stuck in our own country that we're in, and we don't often think there's a whole world out there, and there is so many different ways of thinking and so many different kinds of people, and yet we have a lot that we share in common. So I think the IB does a good job at making people aware of that, because international mindedness is at one of the center philosophies of IB.
I'm going to have the unique experience of going over to India to teach in an international baccalaureate program there. So I'm really excited to see how the program has been implemented in a different country.
Another thing that I like about this program is that it's consecutive, so there's 3 classes taken in a row. And I think that has really helped me grow as a student, having classes that follow each other. I've definitely developed my skills in writing, and I've definitely developed my skills as a teacher.
I was especially grateful in this process for having the IB teachers come in from the community, because their insight and ability to shed light on what actually happens in the classroom and how to make these theoretical principles that we're studying applicable for students in the diploma program, high school students, was really valuable for me as a future teacher.
We began in the summer. The summer is a very intense program, but I think that's really got me ready for the upcoming semesters. I also enjoy the backward design of IB, that looking at what are the goals, where are you trying to get, and then moving backwards from there to the lessons.
Lots of student exploration, a lot of teacher collaboration, which is another big part of the IB framework, is that teachers work together to develop these units of inquiry. So I've gotten to sit in on a lot of their planning time, where teachers aren't just closed off in their own box, in their own world. They're reaching across the hallway and working together. We can teach children not just what they need to know, but how to know what they need to know. We're going to be creating learners for a lifetime.